Alright, Ares, take us away.
Okay, welcome everybody to week 2 of our season 2 Barracks Master Championship. Remember that you can just go to barracksmaster.com if you want to watch the replays. There'll be a letter that will be coming soon, which I think Carlos will talk a bit about later. But yes, we are starting our game. Let me move to spectator. We have Catdog versus BrzZ. Now, I think most of you guys may remember Catdog. They were the champions of the amateur tournament which we hosted season 1. BrzZ, they played the last game versus LD, Legendary Dolphins, and they did well. They did well, multitasked well, and it's gonna be an exciting match. I think it's gonna be very exciting. What are your thoughts, Kaos?
I think so too. Catdog's definitely the reigning champion, so they know a lot about this game. Brazzers did it okay last week. I think they could do a lot better. We just found out that Cell is a 5.4k player, so he definitely has room to improve in this game if he translates the skill over. So we'll see what happens. But this game is not just Dota, right? It's also a lot of macro involved, so a lot of RTS. Not just regular. Oh, there we go. Someone is dead already. Moon early use of the last 10 right there, securing the secret runes. So again, this is what we talked about last round, right? I think the Brazzers team doesn't really prioritize getting the secret runes. They've opted again to go for an early range tracks, and that has given an 800 gold advantage to Team Catdog. They were able to catch up the last time against LD because LD didn't really have a good mid-game strat, but Catdog is not the same. They know what you're doing, so we'll see what happens. You see some aggression going on right here. Baby Smile's trying
Yeah, they don't want to give that up for free. They don't want to give that up for free.
They don't want to give the position away for free. They already gave their runes up. Alright, so he's brought in Sal, both of them going in right now. I think Moon knows he's dead. He's TPing out! Oh! Oh, there we go. Oh no! Alright, well, all 4 last ends are now gone. I don't know if that was the best.
That is an interesting turn of events.
I don't know if that was the best.
But what you gonna do, right? So let's just focus a bit on what's happening in terms of the barracks that are being built up, right? So we have range Raxes on the side of BrzZ, so you can tell that they do have an edge when it comes to the creeps meeting in the center. But the skeleton warriors really giving them the kind of early damage on the creeps, as you can see here. They are focusing not much on going into range, Catdog, straight away going into one stump and continuing to upgrade the skeletons. So it's gonna be interesting, right? We're gonna see different strats coming from both sides. So just some discussion going on. Okay, so as we can see here on the right side, BrzZ has successfully got one of the secret areas and building down the skeleton just to make sure that they secure that position. And Catdog with the other position. So in terms of rune control, I think it's quite neck to neck now. Let's have a look at the net worth. Carl, so why don't you bring us through that?
Sure, net worth is definitely a hit in terms of well, actually, yeah, Moon and Cole are currently in the lead still, and that's because of the early 800 gold advantage. So if you add that up, you can actually see that Brazzers have closed the gap a slight bit. I want to say they're maybe at 500 gold right now. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. I spoke to a couple of people before, and even though you give up the early gold advantage of the runes, you do recover a little bit because your creeps are a little bit stronger, so you deny the enemy the first wave gold at a bare minimum. But all in all, I still think getting the runes is more optimal, because even though you catch up 300 gold, you're still a deficit of 500 something. You don't want to give up early game. Plus, if you do get a first blood, the hero kill goals are pretty strong as well. But what's interesting right now is the employment of the skeletons versus non-skeletons. So if you look at Catdog, Moon actually opted for the skeleton build, but there's no skeletons on. Sorry, Am I saying this right? Yes, Catdog has a skeleton build. And on the side of
Yep.
Brazzers, they only built the skeleton at the secret rune, so I don't even think it's a heavy play on skeletons. Yep. No upgrades on the damage at all, simply the skeleton count. Whereas on Moon's side, I think Moon pretty much went all the way. Yeah. 1 damage, full upgrades. But
Yeah, we can see how
nice.
the early. Oh, what happened? I missed that.
So that was a bait, and then a living armor coming down just before he died, and then he turned the tide pretty quickly there. So that's a really good strategy. It's commonly employed, but definitely not one to be taken lightly. So you actually bait your opponent to thinking they can kill you, and the last minute you put on the living armor, turning the tides. And sometimes you can even stack with your allies' living armor. So it goes for living armor currently allows you to do a block of 4 hits. So if you have your allies get ready when it wears off, that's 8 hits altogether. Pretty strong, really hard takedown if you're doing a 1v1 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
You know, we can see that early bounty that Catdog got is really giving them a good push. You know, the net worth is still above Brazzers, and in terms of the creep count as well. I mean, the creeps are kind of meeting in the center. I don't think anyone has a clear advantage, which really goes to show that, you know, Brazzers lost that early snowball advantage that they did in game 1. So a lot of trash talking here. Well, it's all part of the game, right? Distraction, because there's so many things going on. You want to build, you want to upgrade, and there's little skirmishes going all around. You have to remember to get the secret runes, and yeah, on top of that, some trash talking as well.
Research complete.
Alright, so we see a little bit of a deviation of strategies going on right now. On the side of Moon and Cold, we see they're going Stump into Tech Lab, and Moon is going Air. Whereas if you look on Brazzers' side, we see a Siege creep coming out, Siege Rex coming out, and not much development coming out from Baby Smile. So we'll see what he goes. Something
Last
just
stand
happened.
being used.
Thanks.
Wait, I
Last
thought all
stand
4
being
last stands
used.
used. I guess I was wrong. Well, I guess. Yeah. Oh, no,
Now all
look at
4
that. Check this
are
out.
used.
Rogue Boar killing off the Timber Saw. I don't think Brazzers know about this. Oh, they do. They're trying to heal.
Yeah,
Boar is
but
taking
can
out.
they do anything? Where are their heroes?
Oh, Boar.
The heroes
Boar
are
dead.
stuck here. Okay.
Something's going out there. So we
Well,
see an all 2-prong attack coming out from Moon and Cold, causing Brazzers to be a little bit flustered right now.
Yeah, I think that's quite consistent with the play that they did in Season 1. They're quite aggressive, they move their heroes in, they do a lot of distraction, and yet, you know, they are able to multitask, right? Like, look at their timber numbers, their lumberjack numbers, right? They're always remembering to build them, even though so much action is happening on the map.
Yep. Well, I want to say that Moon and Cold's lumber count is not very high, but you know, we do have a higher count on the Brazzers team. Oh, we see a very early air scout coming out.
Nice.
I'm not sure what that's gonna do. Getting some intel.
Thanks be with you.
I think Baby Smile spotted it. He's trying to look it out. Keep an eye on that. He might be thinking of porting in. I think it's always beneficial to take out the Timber Saws early.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
there
sure.
we go. Someone's porting in right now.
Oh,
I don't think they
is
have
there gonna be a
techies.
last stand?
They have techies. They have techies.
Oh!
I'm
my
sorry.
Goodness.
I think that's a GG right there. I didn't know he
That
had techies so early.
was a huge death count. Huge death count there. Baby Smiles also acknowledging that that's not
Definitely
good.
not
so
good at all.
That's a huge impact to their lumber. But I mean, look at this, right? Look at their lumber count, like you pointed out, count 745 and 990. So they're not really utilizing their lumber, even though they have such high numbers, right? I guess, you know, they just need to focus more on multitasking. Like the multitasking that's coming up from Catdog is just overruling them, right? They're not able to concentrate on too many things at one time.
So let me just recap on what happened just now. So one went Tech Lab, one went Air, right? So what happened was one of them went Air Scout really early, and the other one went the Techie Scout really early. which is why you're able to get the timing out where Techies was available, you know, even before the 8-minute mark. It's quite rare to have that, especially if you have to go both the air and the Techie Scout. But in this case, teamwork really played off. They knew how to strat up properly, and they knew exactly what they wanted to do. So good job there.
Yep.
Problem is, right now Moon has a 6k net worth, whereas both Cell and Baby Smile are struggling in a 4k realm. We don't know if they're able to catch up easily, but the game is definitely not over for them. It's going to be a little bit hard now since you're in the back foot, but it seems that their creep actually has momentum, and a lot of the net worth has come from the big kill there on the Lumberjacks. So we'll find out soon. And they have the creep wave on their side right now, so it's not the end of the world for Brazzers, so it's going to be a tough competition. So this is something I'm noticing that's different from the first game we saw last week. Brazzers were actually a little bit unprepared, I want to say, mid-game, right? They
last stand being used in the mid.
Oh,
they cleared the way.
Yeah, that's decent, I guess. They
From
have to push
Catdog.
it up. Yeah, so Brazzers last week I felt was a little bit unprepared in terms of strategy, but this week they seem to be a little bit more fluid in terms of adapting and, you know, staying calm under pressure. So you can see this team improving quite a bit. Whereas, you know, Catdog's fairly consistent. They've been consistent from last season to last week. Well, last week they didn't play, but to now. So I think Brazzers is an interesting team to look out for. If they can pick off this win, that's a huge upset. That's like Secret being kicked out in TI5, right? So let's see if that repeats itself here. Alright, we have another bird coming in.
Ancient being spawned.
I don't think he knows the runes are there. He's just gonna
side.
pick it up. Oh well, Becky's good work too. I don't know.
And I want to point this out, right?
Yeah.
BrzZ, they have a large number of siege creeps, right?
They do.
I think they did a 2-2 on both sides, and we just have one siege creep on the other side.
Yeah.
So that has a lot of synergy advantage, as we saw pushing. Oh, what happened?
Oh, Moon ported in and used last stand, and Technics is coming. Oh, and he waited just for the Terrorblade to come. Well, that didn't do any damage in terms of building kills, but it did kill. It did kill off the Terrorblade.
Building.
Look at the amount
That's
of
a lot of
siege.
siege. So this is a first IRS. I've never seen a siege creep strategy before, but it seems that it's able to hold the line quite well, despite, you know, Brazzers losing their skeleton racks, Brazzers losing their timber saws twice in a row. The creep wave just can't get past the siege. It's just holding its ground.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very thankful that they have a granite golem. Like, without that, I think the wave would just be pushed really fast. Like, without the granite golem tanking all the hits. So, yeah, so, well, I mean, we see a lot of aggression coming from Catdog, right? And the aggression is definitely paying off because it's always distracting Brazzers to come back. You know, whether to rebuild their lumberjacks and so.
The siege count is getting out as well. I think there's like 15 siege on the map right now. Both teams. They're not breaking through the siege count. It's what is this?
It's called their line of defense.
This is tower defense right here. So it's okay. I'm just looking at different strategies, right? So like I said, you pointed out that Brazzers is going for this huge siege play, which is actually holding the line really well. And Catdog's going for the more traditional one go air and one I think probably go ancient. So air to heroes and then siege to ancients. But we're looking at Brazzers going a double siege strat. One of them just got the ancients out. We'll see how they develop from here, but I did see a purifier, right? Yep, there we go. We have a purifier right at the back of the Catdog base, so they're gonna start pulling ahead even further. Not like Moon needs any more money with a 12k net worth count and 2.7k gold in the bank, but you know,
he's just rubbing it in. He's just rubbing it in.
It never hurts. All right, so we see 5 siege creep survived. More on its way.
Yeah, it's an interesting strat. I mean, I always like the siege creeps, and plus, I think if they do get that snowball upgrade, like, I really hope someone gets a
Oh, yeah.
ultra, like a super good upgrade. Yeah.
They definitely want to get a snowball right now with so many of those siege creeps. Oh, by the way, for those looking, watching, I mean, snowball did get a buff a couple of patches ago, so it's a lot stronger than it used to be. There used to be a reduction in the attack speed for the siege creep itself, but that got lifted. So if you look at a snowball, let me see if we can pull it up.
Construction
The snowball actually gives you AoE damage. It slows the enemy movement, and yeah, so additional AoE damage on top of its regular attack plus an enemy slow. So it's a pretty strong spell to get. Whose library is that? We see it?
Library of spells detected.
I don't see it. Oh,
Sorry.
here it is.
Building.
Here we go.
Rich Moon. 15k Moon.
He is really almost 2 times anyone else that's in the game. Even his partner. He's really steaming ahead. And in terms of the creeps, I think there's a slight advantage now to
Building.
Catdog. There's not a long line of siege creeps that they can break through. And can I point out how many range creeps are there on Catdog's side? That's a lot of
Siege
range
versus
creeps.
range
How
creep.
does
Alright,
that-
Techie's walking in, Techie's walking in. Techie's success!
Nice. Nice. So all that range creep just melting away. But this library of spells, right? What does that mean? What does that mean for Catdog? Obviously, it means a luminous tower. That is definitely a great build tower.
Definitely.
Because it has super weapons. I don't know, have we seen any super weapons so far in the tournament?
No, I don't think so. This will be the first one. We do see the what do you call that? Corrupted Blade coming up too on his range. So like you mentioned, he's going
That's nice.
heavy range count, and makes sense to go Desolator as well. I don't know if they are doing the same for the snowball. I don't see any upgrades yet. No snowball being researched yet. Oh, check this out. One more luminous. Okay.
Ooh, everyone.
Oh, it's right next
Everybody
to my eye. I'm
has
gonna move
one.
it away a little bit. All right, so
That's an
one
interesting
more coming down
placement.
here.
This basically puts the assassinate in range. Like I guess right.
Further, I think the assassinate range is actually, let me see,
Maybe
4,500,
you
so
can draw
it's
it.
half the map. Pretty sure it's half the map.
So I guess it's like that.
Yeah, that'll be a bit more accurate. So they actually have range of the full base. We see a hawk coming in. This is a bad area right now.
Ooh.
Oh, he got all 3!
Ah!
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. That hurt.
Really hurt.
Just as I was saying, that was a
another
bad
one.
area. What did they lose? They lost.
Yeah.
They lost their library. They lost the tech clat, and they lost the tower that was coming up. That's a lot of gold.
research complete.
That's a lot of
That's
gold.
I think that was the luminous tower, was it? I think it
That
was.
was
That's a lot of
unpromising,
gold still.
unpromising, but that was huge. 3 huge builds. Look at the
Right.
net worth drop.
Building.
Moon is at 20k. 20k.
It's still a very solid lead. I mean,
see
these two teams, they're really playing well. Although I think Moon is just in a class of its own. We see the Corrupted Blade has come on and really working hard. I mean, just melting everyone else. What does the Corrupted Blade do, Chaos?
Corrupted Blade, it's a really strong item. It's a -4 armor reduction and plus 30 bonus damage. On its own, it's not the best, but you know, coupled with its allies, obviously, because all the creeps here have pretty much no armor. Any armor reduction is going to hurt it quite significantly. And if I remember correctly, Corrupted Blade is actually the cheapest alt to upgrade in terms of all the creep alts. So it's a very quote-unquote cheap investment. Oh, Techie's failed. This is not good. BrzZ need to do something. They're going for the Portal of Heroes because they know they have to change the tide of the game. It's not working out too favorably for them. That's Medusa on the other side, which just died.
Assassinate.
One more coming out. Oh, so both assassinates coming up. Did they get their library up again? There's one. Look. This is something you don't want to do, right? You don't want to put your high, your high tier structures together because the Sunstrike. Okay. Wow. Okay,
What
I don't know if you
happened?
saw that. So they basically waited for spawn
I
and then
missed
they
that.
used this what's that Scarif Mage alt called? No, Mystic Flare. So it actually damaged the entire wave down to half HP straight away. Fairly strong. It doesn't kill the wave
Nice.
because Mystic Flare spreads the damage out, but it definitely puts the full DPS in.
Yep. And now they're having the advantage of the creeps.
Definitely.
So
They have both, so both of them
Nice.
have the exact same Luminous Tower. They have the Mystic Flares, double Mystic Flares.
I think they need to do a
This
last
is
stand
bad.
here.
This is
They need
bad.
to do
They don't
something.
see this. They don't see
They
this.
don't
It's
wanna
gonna-
lose
They
their
don't see
tower.
this. See, this is what I mean, right? All your big structures are gonna come in range. I think Brazzers is at the end of the
Oh,
line
one
right
power
now.
down.
Yeah,
They need to. Oh,
they have to last
oh,
stand.
No.
I think this is it. That was a really good showing from Brazzers, but I think losing their Timber Sauce twice in a row really hurt them in the early game. And then that big cluster
Yeah.
up there, with the 3 primary structures being Sunstrike down, that was a huge mistake. You don't want to cluster like I said.
Yep.
Well
I
played,
think they're
Catdog.
just being. Yeah, I mean, Catdog, they know what they're doing. Look at their structures, right? They're all far apart from each other.
Cancelled.
Indeed.
So they
Oh,
don't
except
have
this
that
one.
risk of like.
Training.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the net worth, right? 26,000.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Moon, they just, and Cold Refreeder, they just have a good read on the game. They know what to do. They know, what are the way to place their buildings.
Correct.
And I must say that, in any
That's it,
other
Iris.
team, I
That's it.
think that BrzZ would have won.
Correct. I would say
Right.
Brazzers actually had a really good chance. Any other team versus any other team. Just unfortunate they got matched up with Moon and Cold.
I must say, well played. Really well played.
So let's do a little bit of analysis. I want to say that Brazzers, like I said, they know their stuff, but they're slowly getting into the groove. They are not seasoned enough like Moon and Cold. But if they have a little bit more practice and maybe give them one more season, since Moon is their second season, Brazzers may go to season 3, and I think this team really has a lot of potential. And they may want to rethink their early strat. I don't know if giving up 800 gold every time is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.